Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Brian and this is the Build It Place channel. This video we are going to be unboxing and assembling this outdoor fire pit table. So let's get started opening this thing up and putting it together. Get started, let's cut these straps off first. Get them out of the way. And then it looks like we can cut across here, and then back here. And I think this thing may just, it appears it's just going to flip right over. There you go, that's perfect. Flips over, here's our contents. This appears to be a cover. And this looks like some of the instructions for guidance. So we'll put that off to the side. We got some, looks like glass beads. Guess that goes in the fire pit. More glass beads. Put that out of the way. Some brackets and screws. Get this styrofoam out of the way. This has some glass. I'm going to put this on the workbench over here to the side because it appears to be glass. Weight on this thing is, total weight is 77 pounds. So it's going to be a little bit of challenge to get this out of this box, so we may just leave it kind of in the box at least for a little bit. So may have to get somebody to help me get this out. Well, let's see how heavy this thing really is. Got straps to hold it down, I guess for shipping purposes. Yeah, this thing's kind of heavy, so I'm gonna have to get, well, maybe not. Make sure I got enough room over here on the table. I'm gonna pull it out just a little bit. There's straps here that for shipping. I'm gonna use those to help pick it up. But it does have some weight to it. It definitely does. But once it's out, I think I'll be able to manage it from here. There's two kind of nylon straps, I guess. We're going to just cut those off. And that should free this. This is the top, so that should free that. I'm just going to move it over. And looks like this, it's the owner's manual. It's in with the screws, not bolts, they're screws. So we'll open that up and we'll look and see. We'll open it up and determine the assembly of this. Here's all the pieces and step by step how I put it together. So we'll go through these steps and put together. There is the pages on safety, so make sure if you have this to read it. So we got a little bit of things we got to do to get this together. So I'm going to read this owner's manual and determine the assembly before I really get started on anything. That's always best, that way you don't hit any surprises. So I have all my screws all sorted out, and they gave you a 4mm wrench, and I may or may not use that. I have my driver with a 4mm hex drive on the end of it, so I may use that. Well, I'll see how that goes. So this piece that's laying down here is piece A. So the first piece we'll put on is B. So this is one of the side pieces. The feet will have to go up like that. And for that, we want the M6 by 20s, which is the smallest of all of them. And we'll try to use that hex wrench, or some people call it an Allen wrench. We'll see if that works. That may work fine to tighten this down. It looks like it will, so we'll take our time. We'll use the tool they gave us for now. And we'll have, this will be on the, well, I don't know how you want to call it, left or right, but the other piece will have the access for the propane tank to go in. So that goes on the other side. It's working okay for now. I'll angle it the other way and put a little bit of tension on it. So that's the B piece. The C is the access hole for the propane cylinder. So it uses the same M6 by 20, which is H. Oh, I forgot one important thing. You go back. Forgot all about the washers. You need to put a washer on each one. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. So I have to go back and take those off. Forgot all about the washer. Kind of important, I guess. I'm going to use a driver. It's going forward. Now you got to take your time a little bit with this. You don't want to strip any of the screws out. Reverse this and take these out. Put a washer on each one of these. Do it one at a time. Set this forward. We're going to get it started first. Be easier to get started with your fingers. Okay, so those are done. Now we need to put the next pieces on, which will be D, would be the back piece, which is this piece. Should have a D on it. And that goes in. Let's see if there's any orientation, top or bottom. I don't see. It looks fairly symmetrical. Let's see if it actually is symmetrical as far as the mounting holes. I don't think so. These go in a particular way. So you got to match up. You have to match up the mounting holes. And for this piece, we're going to need J, which is the 45 millimeter long screws. So I put a washer on it this time. Bring it up, line it up into that, my tippy toes. That matches up perfect. We'll get another number J with one washer. And put that in there and line that hole up. I'm just finger tightening this stuff right now. It makes it easier. This would probably work easier if it was on the ground. I didn't realize I was going to have this issue. I have to have real long arms to get this. And I'm standing up on my toes also. Or I think I go to the other side and I tighten it down for just this one, but the other one I'm gonna have to reach over top. Get my driver, see how well that does. That works pretty good, a lot faster. Whoops, lost my bit though. That happens on these. Probably lose my bit again, yep. Lost my bit again. I said earlier, I'm only tightening it up, not real snug. I don't want to strip anything out. Okay, so that was D. Now we put E. E goes to the front because you need to have access to the control knobs. So we'll get, and it uses the same screws, M6x45s. So we need 4 screws and 4 washers. So on the other side, this one's pretty self-explanatory. It has a notch where the controls are going to be. And we're going to have to move that piece of styrofoam out. I was hoping I could just leave that in there until I got the table, but I'm just going to push it. I'm going to push it back for now out of the way, because when I put the top on, that's when I'm going to deal with that, I think. Nope, I'm going to deal with it now. I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure pulling up on this. This is styrofoam. It will almost throw this on the ground. It will have a little give to it. Leaves a big mess. Okay, so now we'll put this forward piece on. We already have our screws and washers sitting here. This is, now I forgot what piece this is. I think it's E. Yes, this is piece E, or part E. Start the screws. Start the screw on the other side. You're not going to be able to see me doing this because I'm not going to have any, well, I may have a camera view from that camera, a slight view. But I'm definitely going to be on my toes. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'll reach far enough in there to get that one. And then again, these are the M6 by 45 screws. Get my driver. It just barely fits in there. The last task for putting this before we turn it over on its other side is to put the, I guess the bracket that the propane tank sits on. You need to leave this piece that sits up high. You want this ring to be flush on the bottom, and you want the ring to be raised going down, or it's going to be going up. So this is the side, since the tank is going to be here, we want the ring to be, this ring to be flush on that surface, and then we're going to use it's the M6 by 40 screws that'll be used here. I'll need 4 of those. So I'll just get 2 screws for now to kind of diagonally support this on each side. But I did a test. The directions weren't real clear, so I took this over to a propane bottle and I found out that ring needs to be against, or needs to be raised, which will be the upward position, and then on the bottom be flush like it is now. So let's get a couple of screws diagonal in here to hold this until I can get a driver to drive it. I wonder if there's a, I don't think it's made so that it goes one way, but it seems like it doesn't want to line up to that hole very good. It's lining up now. Get another one for the opposite side. I'll get them started pretty much finger tight. 2 washers. Break one free. And then we'll tie this down. We're going to have to use that. Well, on this end, we're going to have to use that little wrench to hold. Then that way I can get my driver in there. The little Allen wrenches here. I can drive these 2 over here with the driver. So I'll get them in now. And then these 2 are going to take some time. Naturally, it didn't make it so that you can spin it with the Allen going that direction, but you can't spin it when you get the leverage, but that's fine. We'll get it tight and then we'll come in and use the other side of the Allen to get good leverage. At least they gave you the tool. Okay, we'll use the other end of the Allen to get the leverage to tighten it up the rest of the way. Do the same on this side. Well, that was already kind of loose. So now we have everything done that we can do. While this is upside down, now we need to turn it over and put it on its other side. Let's see if I can do that by myself. I'll walk it back. Thing is, it has some weight to it. I'll get on the other side and I can walk it back, get it up on its other side. Probably should put it on the floor now. Okay, it's on its feet now, so we're going to cut these straps that hold the top down. I'm going to try to be careful not to nick any of the wicker or anything. Just take my time, go from the bottom up. And cut away from yourself always. It's always a smart thing to do. And it's good to have a sharp knife where that's not a very sharp knife, but that's fine. Bring all these straps out. There. Very easy to come over here and pull the strap down through that hole. And the same with this one over here. Come down this side. Pull it where these clamps of some kind are, strap clamps. That's all. Take this over to the trash pile. Put that there. Okay, the next thing we want to do is put the knob for the, I guess it's called the lid. So we got a knob and the screw. Attempt to get that thread on straight. Well, that's not happening. It's cross threading on me naturally. Yep, it's cross threading. Okay, now it's going good. Holding my finger for now. There's a Phillips screw. Let me get a Phillips screwdriver. I'm trying to hold it with my finger. Probably would be better if I just put the screwdriver on there and turn the knob for now. And then hold the knob and turn the screw. Okay, that's the cover. Goes over the fire pit. Okay, I'm ready to put the glass crystals, and it says the cover, completely cover the burner. But there is one thing that was kind of, I'm not sure about, was covering this piece. It says if you have lava rock, you don't want to cover this vent area. So we're going to see how well these glass crystals covering. And I'm going to try to determine. I don't think the glass crystals are going to be able to fill that whole area to be able to cover that vent. So I think we're going to end up, at least for now, I'm going to leave that vent open, not put any glass crystals on it. And if I can figure that out a little bit more as the video goes on, I'll make an attempt to find out, to see if you level them all out, they still don't even cover the burners completely. So I think that's still their intention to have that area open. So I'm going to leave that open. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. I think it's just going to make it better. So that's, crystals are on. Okay, this step we're going to be doing the glass guard. Now the glass, there's 4 pieces of glass. Since this is a rectangular shaped fire pit, it's going to be 2 long pieces and 2 short pieces. And the brackets that are going to hold it together have set screws on them. I've already backed the set screws backed off of it. And there's 2 kinds. There's one, this will be the one that's going to be at the top. And there's a different one that has a foot on it. That's going to be the one on the bottom. So we're going to start with the top first. So we'll bring a piece of glass up, or 2 pieces of glass up, get the top edge, or this is going to actually be the bottom when it's done, because we're tightening the screws to the top brackets. So we make sure this glass is flush here, and we'll put our brackets in. Make sure everything is tight and flush. And you don't want to tighten these down very tight. And then you got another one without the, I'm just going to tighten the one screw up a little bit. That looks like it'd be the easier way to do this. Then slide the glass in, and then make sure that this is flush and that it's all the way in the bracket. Make sure the glass is all the way buttoned in against the inside edge of the bracket. You don't want a gap there. And then this, same thing. Make sure everything is flush to the top and that the glass is all the way against the edge of the bracket. And tighten the set screws up. That should just slide down on. That should just slide right on down in there, which it does. And that's flush with there, and the glass panes are all the way up against the flush in the inside bracket. Okay, that's good. Now we can put these, what is going to be the lower brackets. Just back this set screw up a little bit. We want the rubber foot facing up. This one needs to be loosened up a little bit too. And we want this edge here still be flush with the glass and the bracket pushed all the way in. It's a little bit of a challenge with this screwdriver, but it works. Make sure that's staying flush and pressed all the way against inside the bracket. Continue on. That's flush with the top. Push the glass all the way, push this bracket all the way in when you're putting this one in. And be gentle with the glass. You don't want to be rough with this piece of glass. And then do the same this one. Push it, make sure it's flush with it's not quite flush. We got to make some adjustment here because this one's not flush. There, now it's flush. If everything's flush, it'll make it so it lays nice and flat on the, it won't be wobbling on your top of your fire pit. If this isn't flush with glass, I'm pretty sure they're cutting this glass very square and straight. Loosen up this set screw just a little bit. There's a nylon tip on the end of that set screw, or something like a nylon. I'm not sure it's actually nylon, but it has an appearance like a nylon, so that's not that set screw metal is not going directly against the glass. It has that buffer, but you still don't want to tighten it too tight. You want it snug, but not super tight. And here we get this flush at the top, and this one's not flush. It could be that. Let's bring this back down and make some adjustments here. I think this glass here is not flush, so I'm just going to bring this up just a little bit. Yeah, I don't think those two pieces of glass were that flush. Now it looks a lot better. Whole lot better. At this point, we're done with putting this together. It says you need 2 people. I don't have a second person to put this piece of on. I don't have a second person to move this. To install a propane tank, this came with a cover. Just discard this for now. Make sure the tank is closed. Sometimes I've got these where the tank has been opened from the refill place. Install this quick coupler onto the tank. And while you're at this point, make sure that your valve is to the off position, your control valve. Then I normally take the tank and I would put it in like so. Make sure the hose is good. And then I line up one of these slots to this screw, and then bring the screw into there so it locks. That way the tank's locked in. I don't always put it all the way down, but just make sure the tank's locked in. And this cover has 2 dimples or piece rods coming out that line up here. So just line those up, bring it up, and there's magnetic catches on the top, and that latches in. This unit has an electronic or electric igniter, so you remove this cover counterclockwise, turn it. You use, for this unit, it's a AAA battery. The bumped edge or the positive edge needs to face out towards you. The flat side goes in first. So put that in, tighten this up clockwise until it's just snug. And you want to do a test, so you just push a button down and you'll hear a ticking sound. So that tells you that that circuit is working. I want to end this video here because I believe it's important for the user of this fire pit to understand how to do the leak test and the safety concerns with this unit and all the operations. So I refer all of that back to the manual. If you did not get a manual with your unit, I'll include the email address of the manufacturer so that you can go to them and request a manual or any updates. I will try to answer any questions if I can. Leave me comments, but I really don't want to go into any more on this at this point because like I said, it is important for you to review the safety manual or the safety concerns. I think there's 4, maybe 5 pages of just safety things and leak testing and adapting it to, well, you can tie it to your hard pipe from your natural gas supplier. So those things that you need to determine and look out for yourself. One other thing I noticed while I was assembling it, there was a couple of the inserts, the threaded inserts that were real tight. The screws just didn't want to go in easily. So for mine, the insert is a metric thread. It's a M6 millimeters by 1 millimeter thread. So I'm going to try to find a part number for a tap that you can pick up at your local Ace Hardware. I'll try to put that part number in the description in case you have screws that, you may want to test the screws before putting this together in the inserts, just to ensure that you don't have a mishap, because I started to have a bad mishap and building this. I didn't show it, but it was not fun to correct. So I would recommend testing all the screws before putting them in the inserts just to verify it. And I think you'll be happy, because if you damage one of those inserts, they're very difficult to replace. And well, not the inserts are not necessarily difficult to replace, but it's a technique to remove the remnants of the insert and then put another one in. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy your outdoor fire pit. And if you like my video, subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, what I presented, give me a thumbs up. And as I said earlier, leave comments. I'll try to reply to any comment that I feel comfortable. When it comes to propane and gas, I want to refer pretty much all the questions to the actual manufacturer, which has the staff there that can provide accurate answers to your questions. So thanks for watching my channel.